The relationship between Russia and NATO has been fraught with tension for decades. Nowhere is this more apparent than in the ongoing debate over Ukraine's potential membership in the alliance. For Russia, Ukraine joining NATO is simply unacceptable. It represents a fundamental threat to Russian security interests and undermines its historical sphere of influence. This complex geopolitical chess match has its roots in the tumultuous years following the collapse of the Soviet Union. Ukraine, with its long historical ties to Russia and strategic location on its southwestern border, became a focal point for this simmering conflict. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 marked the end of an era. Amidst this momentous upheaval, the West, led by the United States, sought assurances from Moscow that NATO would not expand eastward. These assurances, while never formalized in a legally binding treaty, were seen by Moscow as a critical component of the post-Cold War security architecture in Europe. However, as the 1990s progressed and former Soviet satellites expressed interest in joining NATO, the West's commitment to these assurances wavered. In 1999, Poland, Hungary and the Czech Republic, all former members of the Warsaw Pact, were granted NATO membership. Each new member brought NATO closer to Russia's borders, further stoking tensions and reinforcing the Kremlin's view that the West was reneging on its promises. For Russia, Ukraine's potential NATO membership is not simply a matter of wounded pride or historical grievance. It represents a concrete and immediate threat to its national security. Ukraine shares a vast land border with Russia stretching over 1,200 miles. NATO membership for Ukraine would mean that this border, once a buffer zone, would become a front line in a new geopolitical standoff. The potential deployment of NATO troops and military hardware to Ukrainian territory is seen by Moscow as an unacceptable provocation. Beyond the immediate military implications, Ukraine's accession to NATO would also have profound strategic consequences for Russia. Losing Ukraine to NATO would be a major strategic blow, weakening Russia's position in Eastern Europe and undermining its ability to project power in the Black Sea region. The potential consequences of Ukraine joining NATO extend far beyond the immediate region. The ongoing conflict in eastern Ukraine, the annexation of Crimea by Russia in 2014, and the escalating war of words between Russia and the West have created a highly volatile environment. In this context, Ukraine's accession to NATO could be the spark that ignites a much larger conflagration. Russia has repeatedly warned that it will not tolerate NATO expansion into Ukraine and has threatened to take military technical measures in response. The potential for miscalculation and escalation is high. A direct military confrontation between Russia and NATO would be catastrophic, not only for the countries involved but for the entire world. As such, the issue of Ukraine's NATO membership remains one of the most pressing and intractable security challenges facing the international community today.